Hi, I'm Ken Whitfield with the Second Life Coast Guard. And before we can go any further in our series on proper uniform wear, we have to talk about a couple of things. We have to talk about our ribbon holder, how to place ribbons on our ribbon holder, and we have to take a look at the dreaded collar pins. So that's what we're going to do today. Let's start with the ribbon holder. This is really easy. It's just a couple of steps. The first thing you need to do is detach your ribbon holder and res it on the ground. I like to make a little table for mine so things don't get lost. Now, before we go any further, it's really important that you place your ribbons in the proper order on the ribbon holder. And if you need some help with that, ask your commanding officer for the note card that will give you the proper order of placement for the ribbons. They'll have that and they'll be more than happy to give that to you. Okay, so let's add a ribbon to this ribbon holder. Let's say I have just gotten a new ribbon. And what would that ribbon be? Well, let's see. Something we don't issue that I think. Let's say we've got the Silver Star. So I want to add the Coast Guard Silver Star to my ribbon holder. Now, this is going to be the 8th ribbon on my ribbon holder. So I know that that has to go over here because I have checked the note card and the note card says my 8th ribbon would go in this position. So put your ribbon holder in edit mode and then Control Alt T. When you do Control Alt T, you can see invisible objects. Now I can see where I'm supposed to place that. So let's do something that makes us a little bit easier. Okay? Let's click Select Face over here. When we click Select Face, you'll notice there are a bunch of little O's that come over here with a cross in them. That shows you all the places that you can put a texture. Now, if I click Edit Linked, and just click this one right here, you can see all of those Select Face objects go away. So now this is, I know because I've got that circle with a cross in it, that is the place I'm supposed to put the ribbon. So I just drag my Silver Star over to the texture window and release it, and there it is. There's my Silver Star. Now I can go ahead, Control Alt T, take my ribbon holder back into inventory, and then I just add my ribbon holder back to my uniform, and there I go. I've got my 8th ribbon with my Silver Star. Simple. Okay, now let's move on to collar pins. And for the sake of argument, let's say I've just gone through recruit training, I've been through graduation, and I'm a brand new PO3 and I'm putting on my tropicals for the very first time. And I've got my uniform on, and now it's time to add my collar pins. Well, I know because of training that I'm going to need my collar pins for 2 uniforms. So here's a little trick. Make a copy of your collar pins. As a matter of fact, make 2 copies. Let's paste that there and let's make 2 copies. So we have the original and we have 2 backups. Now, let's rename those. Rank collar pins, PO3 rank collar pins. Trops, because I'm going to need them for my tropical uniform, and I'm also going to need them for my dress white uniform. So there we go. Now I have 2 copies of my collar pins for the 2 uniforms that I'm going to need to wear them. So let's go ahead and add the collar pins to the tropicals and let's see what happens. Yeah, that doesn't look any very good, does it? Nope. We're going to need to move these to the collars, and for that we are going to need a pose stand. Now, I'm sure you probably have a pose stand in your inventory. A lot of places give them away free when you buy clothes. And if you don't have a pose stand, ask one of your friends for one. I'm sure they've got one they can give you. There are plenty of them out there. So simply jump onto the pose stand and let's put our collar pins in edit mode. Now, as you can see, these collar pins are linked together, so when we try to move them, they both move. So if we want to move them one at a time, click on Edit Linked over there. Now you can click on the pin you want to move and it will move independently from the other pins. So let's drag this one over to the collar and let's set it down. Now, if we back out just a little here, see, this is the Trops uniform is difficult because it's difficult to see the collar. So you can move that around over there, get that just about placed. Now, is that correctly placed? Well, we really don't know. We have to slide around a little bit and we see, no, it isn't. Let's do another little trick. Let's do Control-Alt-T, and that will let us see invisible objects, and that'll help us out a little bit. Now we can see the entire box that contains the collar pin. So we need to rotate it a little bit, and we need to sink it into the collar just a little bit. I believe that's the blue arrow there. There we go. And we rotate a little bit more. Collar pins can get a little bit tricky. Now let's see how that looks. Let's spin it around a little bit. That looks like that's lying flat on my collar and that it is properly placed. Let's take a look back a little bit. Let's check it all. That's a little high up on the collar, isn't it? Let's move it down just a little bit. Grab the green arrow and look at that. It sinks right into your chest. So we grab our blue arrow and pull it back out, and once again, it's all messed up. Every time you go to use these and every time you make a change, it's going to be different. So get in that edit mode, use it a lot, play with it until you find the proper position for the collar pin. This will take a while, but it is worth the wait to do because it will keep you looking really, really good. Now I changed my lighting so you can see this just a little bit better. Actually, if you change your graphics to ultra, you can see these collar pins a lot better than you can see them in either medium graphics or high graphics. So there's a tip for you too. You might want to try that. But when you're done, your collar pins should look just like this. They should sit firmly on the collar, they should be up against the collar, and they should be spaced evenly apart and right there centered on the throat. Collar pins, no problem. Just takes a little bit of manipulation. Now that you're done putting on your Trops, remember to make an outfit. And if you need a tip on how to make an outfit, see video number 03, ODU and making outfits, for tips on how to do that. But you're not done yet. You still have to put them on your dress whites, don't you? So let's do that. Oh, and by the way, if you should decide to wear the Trop shirt with tie and prim collar, your collar pin should look like this, neatly placed on either side of the prim collar, just on either side of the tie. For your dress whites uniform, you're going to want to use the copy of your collar pins that you set aside for your dress whites. They're going to be in a different place than they are on the Tropicals, and it's just easier to do it this way. They should be evenly set apart, and they should be flush against the neck and right about there on the collar of your dress white jacket. And once you're done, remember to make an outfit and you're ready to go. Well, that's it for ribbon holders and collar pins. And remember, if you have any questions about uniforms, please ask your commanding officer. They will be more than happy to help you. For the Second Life Coast Guard, I'm Ken Whitfield.